Hello everyone, welcome to the Minnesota Garden Mom. Here we garden in zone 4B and now we are in October, so we have a fall garden tour in the mix ready to go. Most things have been harvested, but we still have some things growing. Here is the gate entrance to the garden. I have my little garden helper with me. To our left here we have the loofah gourd. We have 3 plants in the ground there. And they've produced quite a few loofah gourds, but I'm wondering if they'll have time to brown. I hope they do. I would really enjoy having some sponges. I've tried growing them before to no luck of actual production. Here we have some marigolds that are still hanging out into my walkway, and that's okay. They're really big and beautiful, the more yellow compared to the Cracker Jack mix that you can get at the store, or more orange and red colored, and even smaller in head size. They've tipped over, but I've left them. The bees really like them. So you can see this nice big head. There's supposed to be a key lime mix, and the younger ones, like this one right here, are more of a green color, in my opinion, but they definitely turn yellow when they get bigger. My cucumber is crispy and done, but I still have some cucumbers hanging on the vine. We're going to use those for cucumber boats with the kids. As a reminder, I'm a mom and a gardener, and I try to get those things to coincide together. We have a two-toned Cosmo here, and here's our mustard greens. Unfortunately, they're already starting to flower. You can still eat them, and they have more of a mild flavor to start, but then get a bit spicier from the heat. Get some weeds out of here. I have some spinach growing still for my fall garden. And these were just a couple extras that I threw in over here. I have another spot with a bunch more spinach. Lots of volunteer flowers from all the seeds dropping. Here we have some chicorée. She's blooming this morning. It was cool enough. When it gets hot, the blooms actually close up. The plant itself was quite tall, about 3.5 to 4 feet tall before she fell over. Pretty soft blooms. Again, the pollinators have been in love with the amount of flowers that I have in the garden this year, so I've tried leaving them. We are still harvesting zucchini. I'm really surprised that my zucchini are still going, but I will take the harvest. This is one plant there. Here I am showing I have 4 foot long bed that goes all the way around the garden along the fence. And then my walkways. This walkway here is about 4 feet wide, but the rest of the walkways are 3 to 3.5 feet. I was measuring them out because I was thinking about taking away that piece right there and having more garden space. Not sure if I'd put up another trellis system or if I'd put up more for tomatoes because it curves along right there already, and I just have gotten used to walking around. This is my pineapple sage plant. I did buy this as a small start from a garden center, but it has gotten just absolutely massive. I've really enjoyed throwing it in my garden dishes, and just it's just huge. I can't believe how big it's gotten. It's really overtaken the area, but since there's another stuff around it, that's okay. I do have this one massive African marigold right here. I have no idea why it got as big as it did. I did have a cherry tomato plant planted underneath of it, and I did leave the cage there because I intended to put something there, but just didn't because I had another cherry tomato plant already next to it, and this decided to use it as support. Here is the cherry tomato. I'm not sure what the variety is. It was in the mix of Cherrylicious cherry tomatoes from M.I. Gardner. So this is one of the orange ones. It's pretty good. It has a soft skin to it. Here we have my first cattle panel arch. It is about 6 foot, 6.5 foot tall or so. I have some green beans on the very first cattle panel here, and I let it go to seed to save some seeds from it, but I have noticed that it's actually starting to try and grow some more. This over here, I tried growing some Delcati squash, and they did not want to climb up, and I tried to put a few other things that have failed. There's the cucumber. There's another big, massive one down there. I had some cantaloupe here, but they're done for this season. There's one little guy here, but it's not gonna amount to anything. It's done. I just haven't ripped it out yet. Next year, instead of having my cantaloupe on this side, I think I'm going to put them on this side and swap it with the cucumber. Here at the inside part of where those loofah gourds are, you can see a few more of them there, and there's quite a few up there. We've already gone through and harvested most of these Good Mother Stallard beans. There's still quite a few to pick, but I've been picking so many of them. I do wait for them to get more of a yellow color or completely dry like this one here before I pick them and dry them out the rest of the way inside my house. We have a volunteer cherry tomato here. These ones are a red tomato, so there's quite a few on here still that are not ripe. And it goes all the way up here and back. It's been so much fun watching this volunteer cherry tomato go. There's even some there on the ground. So back out of our trellis, I do have a bird bath here. I've been trying to keep it full of water because we haven't gotten rain lately, and the birds, I really don't want them pecking my tomatoes. Here we have some Ayo beans. I might be saying that wrong. We'll see how many they actually give. It's a pole bean for drying bean. There are so many flowers up there, but I'm not seeing a return for bean pods, just tons of flowers, but they're at least pretty red flowers. Here we had pinto runner beans. We have a few more still to pick, but they're mostly done. I don't think I'm going to put them here again next year because they only go up, so much, and we could definitely utilize that half of the arch and maybe have both sides for the pole beans. I do have 5 feet in between my cattle panels. We use 16-foot cattle panels and then 6-foot T-posts, 2 T-posts on each side of that cattle panel. And that's made it so it's tall enough for me to still go underneath of it, but also be able to reach it. We have some peas here, and one moment, I had to go help my little helper. But I wanted to show you. Look at these as I was walking back in. There are so many red bean flowers up there. They've climbed up the tree that sits above my garden. That's just wild to me. So going back in, had to take that mom pause. Oh, some beautiful sage. I'm really excited about sage. It smells so good, and that's just traditional sage. That's not pineapple sage on that one. We use quite a bit of sage in our dishes when we have pork. So back into the second tunnel, and we're gonna go over here. I can show you the peas again. We did have peas on this side and this side for the spring, but we only are doing this side for the kids for the fall peas. And you can tell that these were too densely sown here on the right. My toddler planted those ones, as I've said in previous videos, and then I planted the ones on the left. It might be that the ones on the left get more light, but I think it's because he planted 50 and I planted 20. So coming out of the second tunnel, here we have some red acre cabbages that are doing quite well. And let's see how my broccoli is doing. It's split and it's flowering, and I don't know what to do. If anybody knows of a broccoli that does well in this crazy heat for Minnesota, because we've gotten a lot of heat just on and off throughout this season, so I could try and get some better heads of broccoli, that'd be great. Drop a comment down below what kind you use in zone 4, and even better if you're here in Minnesota, but any kind of zone 4 would be great. We have some dry bush beans here. I've been going around and picking them, and then I'll green mulch the rest once I get the bean pods off. I did plant another batch of basil. I already had some extra plants, so I was filling my space. And anytime I have an open space, I try to fill it with something or just leave the plants that were already there. Here's that spinach I was talking about. I need to go through and thin them out a little bit. Some little tiny lettuce. This chicorée plant has also fallen over, so she's going to have to get removed so those lettuce actually can get some more sunlight. I have quite a few marigolds here and nostrums. They did have so many more flowers on them, but unfortunately they're kind of died back for that department. I have some little volunteer marigold there, but some lettuces right here. And I'll go through and thin those out as well. I have some sage. You're going to notice in the garden there's just so many marigolds, sage and basil, just tucked everywhere, even dill. I do have my pepper plants here, nice long row of them. It's about 20 feet of pepper plants densely planted together. And look, I have this red bell pepper here, and I'm pretty excited about it. I've been coming out here regularly and plucking off peppers to have with our supper. As you can see, I got my little garden helper. She's got a hole in that. I need to mend it. Um, I carry her around either in my Ergo baby carrier or in her um, car seat carrier. I have a cover for a bug net for it. So anytime the bugs get bad, it's been really nice to take a bug net, throw it over it, and it actually is fitted to the car seat. And that's been a game changer for being able to garden later at night when my other kids are asleep. Here we have a small, slim cayenne pepper. So these peppers are planted about 3 deep. These are a 4 foot bed, and on both the front and back sides, I have either a flower or an herb planted on every other one. And that's really helped with the pest pressure. I haven't had to spray any organic sprays on my pepper plants this year. There have been no eating on them, and it's just been absolutely wonderful. We've gotten so many peppers too because the pollinators are all up in the business. I haven't had any troubles either with anything else coming in to eat the sweet peppers, potentially because all of the spicy peppers are mixed randomly throughout it. But I do take my dog hair, and you may see it occasionally in the video. I just take it and I spread around underneath my plants, and that's made a big difference for most pests staying out of my garden. You can see here the curviness of the pathway from the marigolds spilling out. And that's kind of become my theme for most of my garden. I'm a bit of a greedy gardener. Here we have another dead cucumber, add a tomato be done here. So I threw in another cucumber plant, and we also had some watermelon growing here along this front piece. We did get a few small watermelon off of it. We were bummed this one actually split on the bottom. We had a dry spell and then it got overwatered. So again, we have some cattle panels here. They are the 16-foot ones again, but we cut them in half. So about 8 feet for each of them. Now these are really sturdy, so I only needed to have one T-post on each end of these. The bed itself is 18 feet by 10 feet, and so it's worked out really well. I put about 6 tomato plants on each one. If I wanted to be a bit greedier, I could put more on there. Most of my tomatoes are died back, but we're still getting lots of cherry tomatoes off of them. They're more of a grape tomato. My toddler switched the tabs. You've probably heard in previous videos if you've watched them, or if you're new here, gardening with kids can be kind of hard. Don't let them switch your tabs because you'll end up with all of the grape and cherry tomatoes instead of your aromas. Here we have some small little tomatoes. They're not going to have enough time here in zone 4. So if you're in zone 4, take those off, chuck them on the ground, they'll be composted. Leave that energy for the bigger tomatoes, so hopefully they'll have time to ripen up. These aren't like a massive tomato in themselves. They're a firework tomato, again, from M.I. Gardner. A lot of my seeds that I've started are from M.I. Gardner. Their packs are about $2 usually, unless they're on sale, and occasionally for like rare ones it might be a little bit more expensive. But here we are back around to the garden, to the going back to the front. Anyways, yes, my zucchini is still just going. That one over there finally did die. I had the three, and oh, do I see another zucchini in here? I think I see a yellow one. Oh, it's one of the white ones. This is that sucker that came off that I was telling you guys about. And off of my yellow one, it actually started producing these white ones. I'll throw a picture up here. Let's see if I can't find another one. I'll have to take a picture and show you because it was a lot more like yellow versus that light pale, almost white yellow. And then the plant that before that I showed you had a green one on it. So I had two greens and a yellow. And here is one of the peach varieties of the Nostrodums. I always say that word wrong, and if you have a better way of saying it, please let me know. Oh, another little random Cosmo. It's been really nice having my zinnias still blooming. Some of them got a little bit crispy in the backyard, but they're done, and so I'm glad these ones are still going. Here I have some Johnny Jump Up Violas. I do plant them there along the base. They've started to spill out a little bit, but that's okay. In the spring, they're nice and organized, and it's satisfying to see. But towards the end of the year, you get kind of the craziness of the garden. Make sure we close up your garden so kids or dogs or other random things don't go back into it. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you would like more of this content. Here we have another loofah trying to form, and you need to pull these off, especially if you live in zone 4, maybe even zone 5. We don't have enough time to grow a full loofah to maturity and actually get a sponge from it anymore. We have another cherry tomato plant in this pot, and it actually is still producing some cherry tomatoes underneath the loofah gourd, and so I've been leaving it there just to enjoy it. Now walking over to my pumpkin patch, and you can see I got some little tiny babies in here. I don't know if we'll actually get those to mature all the way, but I do have some bigger ones that I'll show you later that definitely still have time to mature up. I do know that I have quite the mildew problem on one plant, um, but I just wanted to try and plant something underneath these trees instead of just having naked mulch or having to mow it. And as you can see, it's just the one plant for some reason that got the mildew, so I maybe won't grow that specific one again. That one was a gourd. And bringing you over here, let's see if I can show you. I have those pie pumpkins and spaghetti squash, and I'm going to let them ride out. Mother Nature says that it is still hot outside, and I'm going to let them keep going. As soon as it does get cold, though, or I see we're going to have a chance of cold, I will pick them and bring them inside. We have a raspberry patch here, not like a really big one, just a small one. They were here already when we moved onto the property, and we're just getting them more established and cleaned up. We'll trellis them for next year. I was going to show you the raspberries that were on it. Here's a little one. My kids came out this morning and were picking raspberries before school, which was so much fun to see. I am thinking of growing some asparagus back behind here that will get enough sun. If you have a variety of asparagus that works well for you in zone 4 or colder, maybe even zone 5 might be fine. Drop a comment down below. Here we have my front porch, some of the squash that we've already harvested. Now, I did not grow this big blue Hubbard squash, but I am going to try and grow some, save some seeds and grow some next year. And then this big white one I also did not grow. We had a wonderful neighbor that gave us a few pumpkins as well. He gave me 2 winter luxury pumpkins and then this blue jarled pumpkin down here below. I did grow some of my own blue jarls. I have one up on the step still. Thank you for watching our fall garden tour here on the Minnesota Garden Mom. If you like that video, check out some of our other ones. Have a good day. Bye.